Back on Good Morning Football. Happy Monday out there. Huge news out of Dallas last night in the middle of a game. The Cowboys made it official. Jason Garrett is out, fired as head coach after 10 seasons. Let's welcome in Jane Slater. She has been sleeping at the facility there in Frisco. She's got a toothpaste and a little cup over there and like mouthwash and all sorts of things because she's been covering the story so well for us on NFL Network. We had to wait a long time. We have the answer on Jason Garrett's future with the Cowboys. What led, in your opinion, to the delay in announcing this decision? And where do we stand today?
Well, Kay, Jason Garrett's thing that he would often say to us reporters when there was a difficult conversation to be had or something that required a lot more context, he would say, that'll happen over a couple of lemonades. I can imagine it would take quite a few of those to truly grasp what has gone on within the last week here at the Star in Frisco. I had reported earlier this week that he had told players goodbye without actually saying it. He had told his coaches that had expiring contracts to go look for other work. Of course, that was something that he told them they had the right to do. But there was also this curious schedule of his where he kept showing up to work every day. And everyone I talked to inside the building said he was going about his business as if he was the head coach, leaving the door open to many of us that there was a possibility that perhaps Jerry Jones is going to retain him, especially since we had not heard about them courting any other coaches. Well, of course, that changed on Friday and Saturday, and now here we are on Sunday, especially after the fact that they leaked information that Jason was desperately trying to hold on to his job. So if you've got an organization that's looking to show him an abundance of respect, that certainly doesn't speak to it. But yes, this thing is done, and they are finally moving on, looking for other coaching candidates. And look, Mike McCarthy was here for 2 days. You had Marvin Lewis here as well. Just to go ahead and rule out some people, Nick Saban's been a name that's been thrown out. Well, I ran that one down. I was told by a source informed, not a chance. Dan Mullen, the coach at Florida, who of course was Dak Prescott's coach at Mississippi State, reached out to him. He has curiously not gotten back to me, so I can't rule him off the list. But in terms of other candidates that are lined up, I was told by a source inside this building, Stephen and Jerry are playing this very close to the vest. They are the only ones involved in this. And so we wait to see what guy stands out. Mike McCarthy at this point certainly looks like the candidate that has an edge since he spent 2 days in the DFW area.
Mike McCarthy, certainly a front runner there. We will continue to cross names off the list with you, Jane Slater. Later, Slater. Love you. Talk to you soon. Whole lot of talent, of course, on that Dallas roster. Whoever the new head coach is will have to decide what to do with Dak Prescott alongside Jerry Jones. It's a highly sought-after position. What should the Cowboys, Schrags, look for in their new head coach? You yourself said yesterday, I don't want to talk about this until it's done.
Talking about getting rid of Jason Garrett. Well, now Garrett is gone. All right. Mike McCarthy could be a good coach. Marvin Lewis could be a good coach. I don't think the Cowboys are going to just meet with those two. They're going to take some big swings here. And yet I love the fact that what Jane reported is how close to the vest this is. Nothing is leaked. Nobody has a candidates list, nothing. I am wondering if there's a huge swing coming. The Cowboys don't go quietly into the night here. They go Parcells. They go Jimmy Johnson. Right. They go Wade Phillips, fire him, then they elevate Jason Garrett. When the Ravens were offering him a head coaching job, they said, no, we're going to keep you as our offensive coordinator, and you're going to stay here because of the chance to possibly be a Cowboys thing. Do they go after one of these coaches who lost in the playoffs this week and offer draft picks? Sean Payton's got a long history with the Cowboys, and yet he just signed a huge extension and said, I want to make my life in New Orleans. Do the Cowboys offer the Saints the world and say, hey, we want Sean Payton? Or is it, do they wait for Mike Zimmer and say, we're going to offer him the world? I'm fascinated how it plays out, because to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys is different than every other team in the NFL. Not only is it America's team with the biggest scrutiny, you are also dealing with the Jones family, who has the most hands-on approach to football operations as any other in the league. Has to be a very unique person. I don't see this being some middle-of-the-road coordinator from some NFL team. I see this being.
We're not going to say who is that when they're hiring somebody, right? We're not going to have this big question.
I don't see it.
Right. I agree. I feel like it's going to be somebody with a big splash. I feel like with Jerry Jones and how he likes things done, he wants this to be grand as his Hall of Fame party, and we know how special that was. But for me, I feel like when it comes to whoever they're hiring, I feel like it's going to be the coordinators that are going to be the big splash.
Who's the big splash? Give it to me. Yeah, I know.
I mean the head coach who they hire. It's not going to be the head coach and we're just going to say, oh, it's good. You know how when they hired Ron Rivera, then we heard that Jack Del Rio was there. For me, at least, I was like, now that's solid. Really? I like those two big names. Regardless if you think it's going to work out with the Redskins, I feel like whoever they hire as a head coach, it's going to be the package deal. And they're going to come with a young offensive-minded guy that is somewhat of a mastermind.
Let me just address this. I thought this was a crazy story, and then I saw Marvin Lewis's name.
I know.
the idea that they can't get rid of Jason Garrett year after year, and then they can't even fire him, it's like Marvin Lewis is Jason Garrett. It's almost the same guy. Guys, put up the resumes. Who am I talking about here? A good man, a very well-respected football man, a guy who had one job for a long time.
Tied to Hugh Jackson, by the way.
Yeah, Peter, we'll get to Hugh Jackson.
Hugh.
I only go if Hugh goes. It's just like I had a lot of talent for a lot of years, and I didn't get it done, just like Jason Garrett. I respect Marv. A lot, everybody who meets him does, including all the players who played for him. If you're a Cowboys fan, you got to be, are you kidding me? There's no way of keeping Marvin Lewis. With respect to him, we just had Marvin Lewis for years. He has redhead who went to Princeton. We got another one already. It can't possibly be him. And I'm not going without Hugh.
You're leaving.
Come on.
Kyle,
Can I throw something into the chaotic world?
Yeah, go on.
Sit down, man.
Can we just throw around the name Josh McDaniels? Everything I'm hearing.
Go for it.
Offensive-minded guy.
Yeah.
Big splash. Guy who has success. Can steady the ship. This team feels out of sync. Could it be Josh McDaniels? Could he be lured away from everything he has going on in Foxborough, which seems a little bit like it's shaky right now? Could this be the year that he leaves and decides to go to the Dallas Cowboys?
I think Josh McDaniels is a great candidate. I also think Josh McDaniels might have some other offers. I'm not sure if Josh would want to go to Dallas.
Ooh.
I think Josh McDaniels is a very, very sound decision for the Dallas Cowboys to at least meet with based on the pedigree of championships and what he's done with Tom Brady. It'd be fascinating to see what he could do with Dak Prescott. If Dak Prescott's the quarterback moving forward, it's that much in the air.
Maybe Tom Brady's the quarterback.
My intuition, I will say this to my death, I believe that there's a handshake deal for Josh McDaniels to take over for Bill Belichick when and if that time comes. That's
I agree.
my take. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Do you think Dak's going to get signed at some point?
I don't think Dak cares about money, apparently. So, I mean, whenever, maybe next training camp. But, yeah, I think he'll play in Dallas next year. I think.
You get paid in Oikos.
Maybe. I'm seriously. I don't. He's the guy.
Good morning football on the way. Wild card weekend. I lost my voice as they're changing. Trakes, here's the schedule.
Can't wait for this one. Saturday is two beauties. You got Vikings at 49ers. Then you got the Titans, who are maybe the toughest team in football right now, in Baltimore.
They scary.
And then Texans at Chiefs. And then, of course, you have your Seahawks-Packers annual classic.
Just saw that DK Metcalf highlight. Here's an emotional Josh McCown. He stepped in for Carson Wentz on the other side. They couldn't get the win for Philly. Take a look.
Yeah, thankful. Wife and my family have moved around a lot and been a lot and been there for me, and so and mom and dad and so to go out there and get to play in a playoff game was special, and I can't thank them enough for their support, and it was just it's a heck of a ride. I left it all out there. I know that much.
It's incredible. We all know Josh McCown one way or another, and this is the 100th season in the NFL. We're celebrating Namath and Montana, as we should. But this man's football life, guys, he handed the ball to Emmitt Smith on his final touchdown. He threw the ball to Larry Fitzgerald on his first touchdown. And last night he's out there in some Jordan 1s running around in a playoff game. What an amazing football life. Incredible.
3 years ago, when Johnny Manziel was the quarterback of the Browns, he had a good relationship with McCown, and the Browns came to Josh McCown and said, do you want to be our quarterback's coach? Obviously, he won't play anymore, but you can be our quarterback's coach. He says, no, I think I can still play. Signed with the Jets. Now he's with the Eagles, and then that was his first playoff action ever. And left it all on the field. Like he said, unbelievable story.
Josh, we love you, man. I played against you. Big fan. Here's to you, man.
Wasn't even on a team till mid-August.
No. Came out of retirement on ESPN.
Dolphins get the win in Foxborough. They traveled to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Derrick Henry balled, so he caught the call. Deion Sanders, prime, take it away.
When I analyze this game, I'm thinking there's no way they could go up there and beat Tom Brady them. And Tom Brady could possibly be his last game. But you were so adamant in your post-game presses about you guys really believed, man.
Yeah, we definitely did. We knew, everybody was going to possibly write us off. Nobody expected us to do anything, because, it's hard to win, in Foxborough, when they're at home and they're a different team in the playoffs. So we just knew as long as we stayed focused on what we talked about all week and, executing our plan that we had in that, everything would fall in line like we wanted it to.
League's two best run games. Check it out, guys. Run games dominating in this, world of offense that we have in 2020. They're going head-to-head in Baltimore this Saturday. So based on what we saw this past wild card weekend, Kyle, are the Titans capable of going into Baltimore and knocking off these Ravens who've been sitting back and chilling?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're capable of beating anybody right now. I look at Derrick Henry as the classic hottest player in the tournament right now.